Hey everybody, this is my first YouTube video. Never done one of these before. I'm also doing it on my handheld camera, so the quality is, well, that's a full disclosure. Anyway, the other day I visited Chris in Willis, Texas at Lone Star Grillz, and I picked up this 30 by 36 inch cabinet smoker. I seasoned it up a couple of days ago, and I wanted to give a few comments about this device, about my experience, and just to let y'all know what I found out. And it's a really great device. I love Chris's company. They were super helpful. The delivery was as easy as it could be. His team was super helpful, and I've been waiting for over a year to take delivery of one of these. I ordered this in early March. Right at 12 weeks later, I got the phone call from Amber that it was going into production, and they also did some artwork for me that I'll show you right here. That was pretty special for both me and my wife, and they took care of that as well. So again, this is just a few minutes to review this device, give you an idea of what my experience was like, what this one's like, and tonight I'm trying my first cook. I've just fired it up to put a tri-tip on, and we're going to see if we can't make some quick dinner here in the next 2 or 3 hours. So let's walk through some of this box. So it's just this past Friday when I visited Chris at Lone Star Grillz to pick up my new 30 by 36 inch smoker, and the delivery process, as I said, could not have gone better. Jose and Santiago, two of Chris's team members, did a magnificent job of helping me get this thing wrapped up, padded, loaded onto the trailer, and strapped down. I think I brought close to I think it was a dozen ratchet straps on this U-Haul trailer that we used to tie it down, and it did not budge an inch. Over 1,000 miles from north of Houston all the way to south of Denver, Colorado. But I did want to go over a few things and just share some about this smoker. This is kind of a combined video. Like I said the other day, I did season it and spent several hours bringing it up to temperature and then holding it, and I put 4 different probes and 4 different thermometers, and it held the temperature about as good as I could expect. It worked like a champ. So I did want to walk through a few things that I got. I have not seen many videos for this smoker on YouTube or on the internet, and I know it's fairly new, and I know some people are starting to look at this versus others, but I wanted to walk through and just show you a few things that I found that really make a difference. So this is, like I said, the 30 by 36 cabinet. I chose the cabinet because for the footprint and quite honestly for the dollar, I can't think of a unit where you can get as much real estate and as much cooking surface as you can. And as I looked around for quite a while, this one really fit the bill. I did get a couple of upgrades that I'll tell you about. One is that I got the 1/2 inch smoker, or the 1/2 inch firebox, and I'll see if I can lift this up without burning my hand, because we've already lit the fire. But everything inside of this, you can see from the lid to the this deflector plate, I will lift that up in a moment, is 1/2 inch. And everything inside the firebox, you can see that it's a 1/2 inch thick. I've got my fire going to cook dinner tonight. And so when you think about all of this steel, it forms an excellent thermal mass. It is something that I think will come in handy, especially up here in Colorado when we start cooking in cold weather, and it will definitely be helpful. So you can see I've obviously got a fire going in the firebox, and I did learn some things today as I've gone through the seasoning process for this unit. As I mentioned, the protocol for seasoning is that you spray the entire unit inside and out, including the firebox, with the PAM cooking spray. What you see here is a fairly sizable fire. If you look at the instructions that Chris provides, he suggests you start with a small chimney of charcoal and then with 1 or 2 splits. I found that it took a while for this unit to heat up with the amount of wood, and I actually had to start increasing the amount of wood to put in to get it to heat up. I don't know if that's the firebox. I don't know if that is because I'm at 6,500 feet, but for the temperatures to get stabilized, and I'll show you right now that we are currently at 225 and holding, and I'll show you the thermometers inside. So the right thermometer is at a little less than 225, pretty much the same at the upper level. On the left side it's a little bit higher, and on the right, on the left side lower, it's just a hair above 250. So when I get it stabilized, and as I'm cooking, you can get the temperatures close, both up, down, left, and right. I think it helps to get, I'm going to close this so it continues to heat. One thing you can see is there is the patina starting to form on the grates and on the inside of this box. I'm going to close it so it continue to heat. But it does help to get a fairly sizable mass of fire going, because with the heavy metal in the 1/2-inch firebox and with the amount of space that you're trying to heat in this cabinet, it does take a little bit of time to get it heated up, and it helps to have a decent sized fire. So one thing I'll show you, this apparently is a good level of smoke. You can barely see it, it's a very thin blue smoke. I'll show you one more time in the firebox. We have what I think is a fairly clean burning fire, and that is post oak that I bought in Austin, Texas, and hauled up here to Colorado, and it seems to be burning well and providing enough heat but not too much. A couple of the other things that I did also add to the unit, I asked Chris to make the table folding. So it does keep this, it does help minimize the footprint. You can see the supports down here. They also don't have a published option, but I asked if they can make the table bigger. So this is a 12-inch table versus the standard 10-inch. I noticed on someone's picture somewhere that Chris can add a paper towel holder. So we added this, and I think that'll come in handy at some point. I did add the larger wheels. They came in handy when I was pulling it up onto this patio. Plus they have brakes, which makes it much more helpful to deal with. A couple of other things, I added probe ports. I actually added a lower and an upper probe port, so that if you are running wires for electronic measurements, then this should help. I guess the last thing we ordered and added on was the pull handle, which it's actually interesting. In addition to moving this around with the pull handle, it makes for a great perch for my fireboard. And by the way, the fireboard is an excellent thermometer. I got this a while ago. I think Chris now offers them. You can get up to 6 temperature ports, and the most important thing to me is that this is Wi-Fi enabled. So I can leave and go to the store and keep an eye on my pit and see how things are going. One last item that we did add to the pit was some artwork. And Amber helped me create this piece, and Chris and the team added it to the unit. I actually perused their webpage to search for different previous examples. I saw some that I liked. I then sat down with PowerPoint and created this, sent it over to Amber. They turned it into artwork that will go through the cutter, and here it is. And so lots of things you can do. Lots of things you can do with the grill. Like I said, I'm cooking a tri-tip tonight, so we won't open this for too long. And here we are giving it that reverse sear after having smoked to about 130 internal temperature. It's great to have this grate that I can turn over, but it seems like I need to turn it in a second, so we'll do that. Here we are searing the other side. Can't film this for too long because I definitely want to flip it and take it out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm not sure what else I can add to all the different comments about this video or about this unit, but hopefully this is helpful to someone. If you are on the fence about making a decision, I would highly recommend not just this unit, but Chris and his company, Chris, Amber, everyone there has done a marvelous job. And this is not a paid endorsement, full disclosure. I just love this unit, I love the company, and I'm happy to be doing business with them. So y'all take care.